Hello and welcome to the show. Today is going to be a continuation of what we tried to do the last time, which was a rambling episode where I shared some insights, some details of conversations that I had with people over the last week or two. Oh, by the way, apologies because I'm not in the audio booth, and so there's going to be interruptions in the background, especially since the midterms are on right now in Abuja, so the munchkins are in the house. So, yeah, expect to hear some noise in the background. So, in the previous episode, I went over the conversation that I had with the real estate professional. And so today I'm going to try and tackle the conversation that I had with the beauty and skincare specialist. Okay, like I said, this is a random episode, so in no particular order. Let me just try and run through a couple of the things that we spoke about. Now, the lady in question has been in business for 4 years, and she's had no system in place, and she said she was looking at rebranding, and that's when we had the phone conversation because this was my primary concern. Now, coming from a wedding background, wedding and event photography background, I was concerned because back in my day when I got into the game, wedding photographers had this whole thing of, every 2 or 3 years, they'll say, I'm doing rebranding. And basically, what rebranding meant was like changing the logo, changing the colors, changing the website, that sort of thing. And in the Lagos and Abuja community, I just got this sense that wedding photographers just assumed that if you change your logo, you change your colors, you switch up the website, you make everything nice and make everything much more polished, then somehow the business will just kick off. And that is where I just got this nagging thing, at the back of my brain, that every time I hear a business person say they want to do rebranding, I feel as if I just have to tell them that, look, changing logos, fonts, brand, websites, this, that is not enough to get your business to move forward. What gets the business to move forward actually is when you change the underlying fundamentals. So if you change customer service procedures, you can see a bump in business. If you change your selling processes and selling frameworks, you can see a bump in business. If you make changes to the actual product or the service itself, you might see a bump in business. But bottom line is, if you want the business to change, it's a change in the fundamentals or the substantials that brings the growth in business, and not stuff like rebranding. But I'm glad I had that conversation with her anyway, because when we had that conversation, I figured out that what she meant by rebranding was not any of those concerns that I have in mind. And by the way, I hope you guys are beginning to see, because it's something that happened in the conversation with the real estate professional and what's happening here as well. If you choose to communicate only with text, then there's this danger that somebody will say something and you will interpret it your own way, or you will say something, the other person will interpret it their own way. But when you're having a voice-to-voice conversation, or face-to-face conversation, or video conversation, you can quickly clarify, the misconceptions. Because I saw rebranding, and I thought one thing based on my own context, my own previous business history, stuff like that. But she meant it to be something else. Now, at the end of the day, some of you might debate, who actually understands rebranding more. Is it the beauty professional or is it me? But, that's besides the point. The point that I'm just trying to make with the conversation with the real estate professional and the conversation with her, the beauty specialist, is just to show that it actually does make a difference when you're communicating with someone. If you are pinging back and forth, or if you pick up the phone, you make a call, or you pick up the Zoom, you do a video thing, or you pick up WhatsApp, you do a video thing, or you do pick up WhatsApp and do an audio call. These things make a difference. Because you're having all forms of lapses in communication. That's for those of you who decide to stick only to WhatsApp. The thing is, you don't know there's a problem because you don't know. Nobody has pointed it out. So the only reason why I know about the lapses in communication with the real estate professional and with the beauty and skincare specialist is precisely because I hopped on the phone and I realized that, when they said X, I misunderstood it to mean Y. So please, as much as possible, especially for those of us who are small and medium scale in the early days, hop on the phone as much as you can, please. So, and then when she said rebranding, basically what she had in mind was just, she had been running this thing for the last 4 years and she had no system in place. So right now she wanted to put systems in place. And for that, I doff my hat to her. And unfortunately, it's something that, an error that a lot of us fall into. And it's something I've spoken about on the podcast, about how my very first bridal fair, I was in partnership with someone else. 150 people came to the stand. We split the leads between us. I can't remember how we split it, whether it was 75-75 or whatever. And I got 3 deals off of that. And, with each deal averaging about, between 350 and 450, I thought, I had a good outcome. But it's only now looking back in the past, I realized that actually that's a poor outcome, because if we split the leads 50-50, that would be 75-75. It actually is a poor outcome that you talk to 75 people who come to a bridal show and then you only click, 3 weddings click. And then apart from that, I had no systems at the time. I didn't write down anything. I don't know what my sales process was. I don't know what my sales framework was. So I didn't even know what it was that I needed to replicate at the next bridal fair that I attended. So actually it's a problem that a whole bunch of people fall into. And so if you're new in whatever business it is that you're doing, and you haven't made that mistake that I made when I started off as a wedding photographer, and that this lady made as a beauty and skincare specialist, please don't make that mistake. Just start writing down small things. Like I tell you guys, it doesn't have to be detailed. Just bullet points. Okay, like with the real estate professional, we're going over greetings, intentions, questions, proposal, and close. That simple framework, and then just sketching it out. You can sketch out on paper and just do ... greeting, appropriate greeting, intention, discuss this, question, ask these kinds of questions, proposal, this is how you ask it, close, ask for this. If you make those things small, in your jotter, on your phone, or your computer, by the time you're talking to the next client or you're attending the next business exhibition or something, you have a framework that you can look at and say, oh, okay, this is what I said last time that was able to guarantee me 3 weddings out of 75 clients. So if I take this exact script and I come into this setting, I should expect to get similar results. Oh, by the way, it doesn't work like that. It's not mathematics. But your chances for business success grow up when you actually, grow up. They go up or they increase when you actually have some sort of plan in place and something that you can measure against or something that you can optimize. Because you can sit down with the plan and say that, okay, this is what I did, this were the results I got, I didn't like it. Let me change this small place. Let me see what will happen. Let me change this one. Let me see what will happen. And then that's how we get better and better. So, so the beauty and skincare specialist is definitely on point that she wants to put some systems in place. And so that's good. We all need systems in our business, no matter how small. So just use your common sense, use idea, just be writing in small. Eventually, when you get to the point of calling in a consultant, some sort of business professional, they can help you to outline things much more clearly. And then nowadays that you guys have the benefit of AI, Google, Gemini, ChatGPT, we didn't have all this stuff back when we were starting out, 15, 20 years ago. So now that you guys have these things, it's something you can even use to make your life a whole lot easier. You can just type in, I am a beauty and skincare specialist based in the city in blah, 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 eastern part of Nigeria, so, and so. My ideal clients are this, and that. And my sales channels are something. I deal with XYZ number of clients in a year, and I'm currently doing so, and so in profit. I would like to create a standard operating procedure. I'd like to create standard operating procedures for my business, and these are the clientele that I deal with, B2B and then B2C. Give me suggestions that will help me create standard operating procedures, and then you hit send. And then you do that, and then ChatGPT or Google Gemini or the other one, is it Perspicacity or something? I can't remember what it's called. But basically, whatever tool it is will give you some instructions. Now, okay, for a beauty and skincare specialist, the kind of SOPs that you need in your business are this: 1, 2, 3, 4. To create this kind of standard operating procedure for talking to customers, do 1, 2, 3, 4, do 4, 5, 6, do 7, 8. And then you follow all those instructions, and you can see now that you're getting good guidance on how to create some of these systems and procedures. These things are not going to be perfect, but like I said, when you've done some work with creating these things by yourself or trying to create them by yourself, when you now call in somebody later on, this person is a management professional, or this person is an accounting professional, or this person is a sales professional, that person will have a much easier job, and you make a whole lot of progress if the person comes in and meets some kind of foundation that you can tweak upon. So please take advantage of these sorts of things. Use your common sense. Try and build the little that you can build. When you're stuck, take advantage of AI. Look at the suggestions. Some suggestions will make sense. Some suggestions won't make sense. The ones that don't make sense, ignore. The ones that make sense, try and implement. You'll be better off for it, especially when you hire the services of a professional later on. Then we also spoke about how she looks at her business in two ways. Now, she has the business to customer segment and then the business to business segment, where she's training other businesses in these sorts of things. And I hope this is going to strike a chord with those of you who've been listening to the podcast for the last week. Where I made a podcast episode saying that those of you who keep saying human to human, that you guys should stop, that thing is just unnecessarily academic. That when we say business to business and business to consumer, there actually is a substantial difference. Because when I'm selling to somebody, end consumer, who is paying out of his or her own pocket, the risk profile is different. Their concerns are different than if I'm selling to somebody who is a business and who is paying out of business coffers and stuff like that. So risk profile is different. How you go about selling is different. So these things actually do make a difference. And if you haven't started looking at your business like that, like how this beauty and skincare specialist is, then please start looking at your business that way, because it's different. If you are a photographer, like I started out, and you're selling wedding photography to the bride and the groom, they're paying from their pocket, it is not the same thing as if you're talking to a corporation. Let's say you're talking to Nestle, or you're talking to NBC, that's Nigerian Bottling Company, and they want you to produce a documentary for them. It is not the same thing. Trying to talk to somebody in procuring department and getting the person to issue you a contract is not the same thing. You will tackle the sale in a different way. So start looking at your business through those lenses. Where is business to consumer? Where I'm talking to the end person. I'm talking to the mommy, I'm talking to the daddy, or I'm talking to the owner of the house, I'm talking to the person who wants to buy the car. And where are those situations different from when I'm talking to the accountant who has to report to the OGA, who now has to take it to board of directors before they approve final payments? So it's different. Start looking at your businesses that way, or rather your set of customers that way, and it will inform the way that you sell differently. Because if you're taking a business to consumer mindset and you're trying to apply that mindset to business, it's not going to work. You can't sell documentary. Okay, let's say you're able to produce documentaries for NTA. You can't sell a documentary to NTA the same way that you sell wedding photography to a bride. It's just not possible. Anyway, let me leave it at that. Then, the lady was promoting her business through network marketing, and then it made me realize that I haven't said a lot about network marketing, because I think the most that I've said was in older podcast episodes, I've tried to draw a distinction between network marketing, multi-level marketing, and pyramid schemes. Because, this is Nigeria now, so every 2-3 years, these things come up. And I've been trying to get people to understand that, look, there's a difference between a pyramid scheme and genuine network marketing schemes and multi-level marketing schemes. And one of the ways that I try to let people see that there's a difference is this. When it comes to pyramid schemes, people are just saying, add to your downline. So you go and recruit 2 people. The 2 people will recruit 4. The 4 will recruit 6. The 6 will recruit... Oh, no, sorry, I got it wrong. 2 will recruit 4. 4 will recruit 8. 8 will recruit 16. 16 will recruit 32. 32 will recruit 64. And as people join like that, your account will be increasing. The amount of money that you will earn will increase. If you go for their meeting and that's all that they're talking about, recruit, double your downline, increase your downline, then be skeptical whether this thing is for real or not. But if you go there and they're talking about a specific product or a specific service, and they're coming up with plans about how to sell this product or service. They're trying to make some of you distributors. They're trying to give you guys training in sales, in merchandising, in negotiations, in people management, because of course you're going to have to recruit a downline. You have to recruit people that are going to sell on your behalf. When people are now discussing substantial stuff, they now know that, okay, there's a genuine something going on here. So for this makeup, this beauty and skincare person, they are selling actual products. And at the meetings, they're having these sorts of conversations. And in fact, anybody who's a member of that setup, actually, you're functioning more like a distributor. You know, like how, okay, let me just use NBC, people that make Coca-Cola. So NBC, they make the Coke, they sell it to the general distributor in, let's say, Ikeja Market. That's for those of you in Lagos. Ikeja Market, under bridge. Then the woman who owns the shop, the gigantic shop in Ikeja Market, under bridge, where she buys maybe like 200 crates every week, she now has to start selling the crates, small. Somebody will come and buy 5 crates, another person will come and buy 10, another person will come and buy 12. So that's the sort of thing that we're talking about here. You have a distributor who is stocking, who is selling to other people. Those other people will now sell to retail. So these are the kind of things I'm talking about when I say network marketing, multi-level marketing, all these sorts of things. So if there's something substantial that you guys are talking about, and it's not just a matter of 2 people should recruit 4, 4 should recruit 8, 8 should recruit 16, 16 should recruit 32. And if you're doing that, then we'll all become millionaires. So if there's something substantial that you guys are talking about, then it's all good. Especially if they're giving you guys the training that you need. Because just adding downline without giving you training that this is the product, this is how we will sell it, this is how we'll market it, this is how we'll merchandise it, this is how you will arrange your shop. If you're going house to house, car to car, this is how you will arrange the things in your booth to make a good presentation. Or if you're going to people's houses to make presentations, this is how you will arrange everything, this is how you call the meeting, this is how you do this is how you do that. You're not receiving all that training, then please be afraid. And then the podcast episode that I spoke about in detail, I used this woman, what's her name? Mary Kay, as an example. Because Mary Kay, that was pretty much her business model, and currently is $1 billion company. But that's their business model basically. You have these makeup products, you recruit young women, and for them it's only women because they have this thing of female empowerment behind it. So if you're a guy, sorry, you can't sell Mary Kay. You can only be a female distributor. And you recruit these women. You get them to be distributors. You provide financing capital so that they can buy some stuff. And then you train them and you package them well. This is how you dress. This is how you make a presentation. This is our ideal customer profile. You will go to so neighborhoods. This is how you host a house party. This is how you test the makeup. This is how you get them to close. This is how you get referrals. This is how you recruit other people to start selling on your behalf. And this is how you train other people. So like that, and like play. Makeup, as in powder and lipstick, has become a $1 billion company. Not billionaire company, $1 billion company. From just pancake, lipstick, makeup. So, so I just realized that I have to do some more episodes in the future about network marketing, multi-level marketing, and then I shared a resource with her, and it's called Your Virtual Upline Podcast. It's not a Niger podcast; it's an American guy, but it's about these sorts of things. So please, really, really important. So if you're hanging around a bunch of folks and they're saying network marketing, multi-level marketing, please shine your eyes. Make sure you go and do your research. Go and read up. ChatGPT, Gemini, these things are available now. What is network marketing? What is multi-level level marketing? How can I distinguish between a genuine network marketing company and a scam? Put all these things into AI, see what the response comes out, and then shine your eyes and check all these opportunities. Because like I said, this is Niger. Every 2 or 3 years, like clockwork, a new one comes up. And then the thousands and millions of people that fall for this thing are plenty, especially the ones that are built around money, which is come here, join this club, you invest with 20K, then recruit 2 people. The 2 people will invest with 20K each. Those 2 people will recruit 4. Those 4 will invest with 20K each. The 4 will recruit 8. Those 8 will invest with 20K each. And from the 20K that everybody is paying, we'll be giving you, 5K or something. And then in your math, you do the calculation now. If I start today on Monday, I'm able to recruit 4. And then next week, my 4 are able to recruit 8. You can do the math in your head and see, okay, how much money you're going to make. And then at the end of the day, it turns out to be a Ponzi scheme. So these things happen all the time. So please, shine your eyes. But for the beauty and skincare specialist is in a legit space, and so that's good. So just shine your eyes. Make sure that you do things right. Then let's see what else. Okay, we spoke about her preferences for online marketing, because like I told you guys, sorry, let me put on the fan. It's really hot here. The weather in Abuja has just gone mad because it was raining before, but then for some reason the rains just stopped all of a sudden, and now the heat in Abuja is on another level. What was I? So she has a preference for online, doing stuff online, and we had that conversation because those of you who listen to the podcast, you know my own bias. My own bias is always get out and talk to somebody, go and have one-on-one meeting, enter somebody's office, invite the person to your studio, go and see them in their house, those sorts of things. Because of the quality of the conversations that you have, and because of the quality of insights that you get when you start seeing people one-on-one. So, that's my thing. And yes, I will admit I'm biased. You guys will see that whenever I talk to you, I will always try and get you to actually leave your house, get out from behind the keyboard and go and talk to somebody and try and sell something direct first before we start this online. Because online is not bad, but we need quality of insights first about who our ideal customers are, the things that they like, the kind of language that we should use, all these sorts of things. So if you go out and you sell your stuff, let's say you sell towels for children. If you go and talk to mommies and daddies and you try to sell your towels for children, and over the course of 1 year, you talk to maybe 100 families. By the time you now decide to do Instagram advertisements and Google advertisements and all whatnot, you will have the insights that you need to say what kind of color should you use, which kind of towels should you advertise, which ones sell more, what kind of language should you use, stuff like that. Because you have done face-to-face, you have spoken to 100 families over the course of 2 years trying to sell your towels to children. So, where was I? So I tried to make sure that I was setting her with realistic expectations, because a lot of people are trying to get into the online game. Well, luckily she does have the right set of expectations, but people don't realize that when this thing comes to online content marketing, things like that, the expectation I should have is this: there is no, and I repeat, there is no online play that works short term meaning 3 months, 6 months. There is no online thing that you do in 3 months that will make you blow, or 6 months that will make you blow. Some people get lucky and that happens. When that happens, just know that that is an outlier. That is not the normal baseline of performance. If you know 20 people who are in business and one person did something and the thing clicked for them, don't take that to mean that that's the standard that will work for you. Let's be realistic here. It's an outlier. For most people, online... Oh, chai. No, the fan is making too much noise. Let me turn this off. I've disgraced myself live on air now that I haven't serviced my fan, so it's making noise. I need to take it to the electrician. Let me go and grease it up. Where was I? So I was saying, realistic set of expectations. There's no online thing that is going to work short term. Short term is 3 to 6 months, depending on what business it is that you're doing. So online stuff is usually mid to long term. So in other words, 1 year or above. In fact, there are some industries where some people say that if you want to be a thought leader in so and so space, you have to budget 3 to 4 years. So just know that depending on the product or the service or the context or who the ideal customer is or something, there is no game plan that is going to work for you short term. There is no online thing that you do that you will blow in 3 to 6 months. None. There are some people online who say, oh, I got myself to 40,000 LinkedIn followers in a month or something. Yeah, those sorts of things can work. But 40,000 followers on LinkedIn does not mean you got 40,000 paying clients. It's not the same thing. So please, let's be mindful. So let's have realistic time expectations. Now, if there is nothing that is going to work between 3 to 6 months, and the average person is going to have to be producing content for a year to maybe 3 or 4 years, we now have to pay attention to two things. A bunch of us are married or in relationships. You can't expect your partner to be supporting you for 1 whole year or 3 years or 8 months or however long it takes for this thing to pop off. There has to be something that you're doing that will bring in small money. If you have a full-time job, then okay, that's cool. That's sorted. But if not, while you're doing this online thing, you also have to be doing the offline thing where you're looking for people and talking to them face to face and trying to get them to buy now so that small cheddar will be entering the account. This one, I'm just being purely practical here. You can't sit behind the keyboard for 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 1 year. You have to be doing something that is bringing in small naira and kobo. Just being practical here. Then, that is one side. Now, the second side is this. If you're going to be behind the keyboard 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, 2 years, you need to have a plan. You need a content calendar for what it is that you're going to be posting. Because it is hard to wake up today and say, what will I post? You wake up Thursday, what will I post? You wake up Monday, what will I post? And you live your life like that for 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, 2 years. Man, that life is hard. So you come up with a content calendar. And a content calendar is just a simple guide that says, for this week, we'll talk about this. Next week, we'll talk about that. The week after, we'll talk about this. The week after, we'll talk about that. When you have that as a simple game plan, then this whole thing of creating content becomes a whole lot easier. And that is what makes it possible for people to create content for such a long time. So for me, I have over 960 episodes on the podcast for now. The reason why that's possible is because I have a content calendar. Now, my content calendar is not sophisticated, and I will not ask you guys to produce content the way that I do, because clearly, you see what it is that I do. I have conversations with people, I speak at public events, and I have private coaching clients, and then questions come up from those sorts of things, and I decide that I'm going to share a series of those on the podcast. So it's possible that I can have a coaching engagement with somebody now, and let's say the coaching engagement lasts maybe 6 weeks. And then by the time I'm done with that, I look at my notes. I'm like, okay, out of the 20 issues that we discussed, it looks like 4 of them are topical. And then those 4 topics, if I'm splitting them into 3 episodes each, you can now see how from 4 topics, I can get like 12 podcast episodes straight. But what I'm just trying to say is that for me, I have a process of coming up with what it is that I'm going to talk about. For me, I don't have to wake up tomorrow and decide, what am I going to make a podcast about? I don't. It's already there on a piece of paper. All I have to do is wake up in the morning, check the sheet of paper, and in this case, it looks like this is the last sheet of paper. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up and then look at my phone. What's next on the list? The thing that is next on the list, that's what I'm going to talk about. The day after that, I'm going to wake up and pull up my phone and I'm going to look at the list. The thing that's on the list, that's what I'm going to talk about. And that is what makes it possible for someone to have over 960, close to 970 episodes. Because I'm not waking up every day and thinking about what am I going to write next? What am I going to write next? What am I going to podcast about next? So you need a content calendar. So you got to sit down and come up with something. How are you going to come up with something if this is your first time in business? Traditionally, what I like to tell people, the old school method that never fails is, when you're talking to your customers, the kind of questions that they're asking you, that is the content that you should start with. So if you're a beauty and you're a skincare person, and when you try to sell your makeup, people are asking you, how do I apply this? Is it best to apply this one in the morning or in the night? Should I apply it with emulsifier or not? Or can I wear this one overnight when I sleep? Or if I wear this one, what kind of lipstick and lip gloss can I use? If people ask you that kind of questions, that is your content calendar right there. Just be writing down all these things. The first Instagram video that you make, that will be it. That, oh, good morning, my makeup fans, blah, blah, blah. This is our leading emulsifier product. It's been selling like hotcakes. I've been selling it at this and this and that and that. And I've noticed that a bunch of you have questions whenever you buy this. And so that's the reason why I'm making this video. People have been asking that if I use this emulsifier, can I wear it overnight? Or can I wear it paired with this and this and that? So that's what we're going to discuss today. If you're using this emulsifier, it is HPV something something. It is compatible with this and this. Therefore, you can use it with products like Mary Kay and this and this and that and that. Do not use it with this product if you have oily skin. But if you have dry skin, you can use it like this. You can use it like that. Now, I'm not in the beauty and makeup space, so I'm just making stuff up. So those of you who are makeup people, please, don't get angry with me. I'm just trying to explain something. But you can see how this is useful and relevant content from day one that your audience can relate to. And it's the kind of thing that can grow sales because it's answering specific questions that customers have been asking you every day. So left to me, this is why I tell you guys that just start with the questions that people are asking you every day. I know sometimes it sounds like it's obvious or it's boring. But the thing is, you are the specialist. So you know that if you use SPV 45 or whatever, you can sleep with it. But if you use SPV 102, you can't sleep with it. You're the professional, so you know that. But the thing is, ordinary people like me, we don't know that. So it might be boring for you, but go ahead and make that content because that's the question people are asking. So that is also another bias of mine. And so if I'm working with you, yes, just know it right now. I will tell you that, please, let us start from there. What are the questions people are asking you? So when you're talking to people, just have a small book. Just nothing big. Just small. Like these ones that secretaries used to carry back in the day. Just carry it. And be making small notes like, oh, sorry, madam. Sorry, don't be annoyed. I want to be writing some things that you're saying that I don't want to forget. Just let them know. And then you write those things down. That's your content calendar right there. If you don't want to go that route, then AI is there. Gemini, ChatGPT. And then you go through the whole thing. I'm a beauty and skincare specialist based in the city of Dubai. I sell products that can be easily used by women of Arabian descent and can be compatible with something heat of the United Arab Emirates. I want to expand my business online and I want to create content on YouTube videos and Instagram that should help me lead to more sales. Come up with ideas for a content calendar that should last 12 weeks, that should talk about lipsticks, powder, and something, and then hit send. And then Gemini, ChatGPT, whatever it is you're using, perspicuity, or whatever that thing is called, is going to give you a bunch of stuff. And like I said, some of these things will make sense, some of them will not. The ones that don't make sense, just delete. The ones that make sense, start recording. Get your phone, get your beauty light, get your beauty dish, get your whatever, and then start recording. So that's the last part, basically. Now, if you're going to take an online thing to it, just bear this in mind. It's going to take a long time. In the long time that it's going to take before things get traction and you start getting sales, how are you going to be making money? You need to pay attention to that. So be talking to people one-on-one, try and sell some stuff, or get a full-time job. Because if your spouse is going to support you through it, it's going to be rough. If you're a babe and it's your husband that is supporting you, after a while it will feel as if, or your boyfriend is supporting you, after it will feel as if the guy is now taking you for granted, like he doesn't respect you. I'm just being real, just being real. If you're a man and it's your girlfriend who's supporting you, or your wife who's supporting you, it's going to feel even rougher. You feel inadequate, like, oh, I'm not providing. You feel like she's now talking to you anyhow because she's the one that has the money. As in, these things can get really, really, really rough. So if you're going to do this online thing, come with a game plan. Then, since it will take a long time, come up with a content calendar. I've already told you guys easy ways that you can come up with a content calendar. Okay, it's 35 minutes, so excuse me. Let me bring it to a close. Oh, unfortunately, I didn't do shout-outs today, so let me just do the shout-out now. So I'd like to shout out Maximus Eze, who left a comment on Spotify Thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate it. Like I said, those of you who are leaving me comments on Spotify and on YouTube, you guys are doing me a very, very, very good favor. I mean, still, reach out to me on WhatsApp because I love talking to you guys direct. But the thing is, when you leave a comment on Spotify, it gives a clue to the Spotify algorithm that the podcast is valuable and it will share the podcast with more people. And for those of you who've been leaving me comments on YouTube, I really, really appreciate it. In fact, Miss Oma Ogochukwu, I saw your handiwork today. I saw the comment on Spotify. I saw the one that you left on YouTube. I mean, thanks. You're really helping out the show. Because now, YouTube and Spotify will start sharing the podcast to more people. So thank you very much, Maximus Eze and and those of you who be leaving comments on Spotify and who are listening to the show. Then on Spotify, what I'm listening to that I'd like to share with you guys today is I'm listening to Rev Theory or Revelation Theory, but they just do Rev Theory. Now, if you're a born-again Christian and you're looking for good stuff to listen to, this is not that kind of music because you see Revelation in the title. Don't go and subscribe to them. It's like my uncle who was a priest. He saw Bon Jovi. You know, Bon Jovi had the album called Faith. And so my uncle now, as per a priest, he said, Faith, okay, maybe this is good born-again music. And then he carried it, and then he played it, and then he was like, what the hell is this? And then he just left it in the house. And then I saw it. I was like, hey, uncle, you listen to Bon Jovi? And he's like, that thing is rubbish. And I took it and I listened to it. And I loved it because I like rock music. So if you hear Revelation Theory and you think this is born again, this is not born again. Just like if you see John Bon Jovi, the album Faith, and you think, okay, I need something spiritually soothing to listen to, this is not that kind of music. It's plenty of jan, as in it's rock music, correct rock music, hard rock, grunge rock, Linkin Park, some of that like Kurt Cobain kind of music. It is correct stuff, nice stuff. Definitely not the kind of thing that your momsy would appreciate. Definitely not the kind of thing that your choir master or mistress would appreciate. And if you're a Muslim, it's not the kind of thing that your alpha will appreciate. I'm just letting you guys know right now. But it's correct guitar stuff if you like that kind of music. So, Rev Theory on Spotify. If you want to try something in that same vein, but a little bit softer, do Linkin Park or do Creed. Yeah, so that's it. For Kurt Cobain and Nirvana, that one, it sounds light, but the problem with that kind of music is it's too much existential angst. What is the meaning of life? Why am I suffering? Blah, blah, blah. I beg, that's too heavy. Trying to build a business is hard enough. We don't have to now listen to another person moaning about what is the purpose of life, what is the meaning of life. Especially since the young man committed suicide. May his soul rest in peace. But lots of people actually worrying about all those big things. What is the purpose of life? Why are we here? What is the meaning of life? Can money bring happiness? All those sorts of things. But anyway, that's a podcast episode for another day. So, shout out to Maximus Eze. Thank you very much for finding the show. Thank you very much for Miss Oma Agochukwu. The comments I've been seeing that you've been dropping all over the socials. I really appreciate it. Thanks for doing your bit to help the show grow. So, that's the end of my rambling episode for today. Thank you guys very much for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next recording. Please come up with a content calendar so that you can wake up confidently tomorrow like I do, and I don't have to start thinking, what will I record? All I have to do is just open my phone or look at the paper and say, okay, yesterday, this is the list, this is what I spoke about. Cross it off. Today, this is the next thing, and then I talk about it, and then problem solved. And you can be like me, a prolific content creator who is using the content to drive sales. Don't forget, the whole point of being on the mic or typing on the keyboard is because you are trying to grow sales. Don't just be getting follower count for the sake of follower count. Like I told you guys, I would rather have instead of having 40,000 followers on LinkedIn, I'd rather have 20,000 paying customers. That one makes more sense. Anyway, that's it. Let me end since this is 40 minutes. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow.